I am decreeing the name Tanya means Hello name nerds, my name is Patrick and welcome to Fun with First Names, where each week we look into the meaning, origin and some extra fun facts behind one specific first name. And this week we're looking into the first name of Tanya. But before we continue, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's become a patron recently. I was off for a week, so there's kind of a backlog. So I want to say a huge thank you to Tanya Karasiva, Jackson Say, and Nicholas Rio. Thank you guys all so much for becoming patrons. As I always say guys, Patreon helps the channel in the best way possible. If you can help sort of donate $1 or so a month, if you've got a spare dollar by the end of the month and don't want to spend it on anything else, consider supporting the channel on Patreon. You get ad-free videos, exclusive content, and you get a chance to say what names are explained here on the channel. It's fun. I think it's fun. I think it's worth the dollar, but maybe you don't. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, go check it out. Patreon.com/nameexplain, link down below. Anyway, on with today's name of Tanya. And you know what? Straight off the bat, I'm going to say it. We don't know what Tanya actually means. We know where it comes from, however. We know that it's the Russian diminutive form of the name Tatiana. And that Tatiana is just the female form of the name Tatias or Tatius. Tatias? I couldn't find its pronunciation on the internet, but this name of Tatius, this male name of Tatiana and then Tanya came from, we don't know what it actually means. It's just lost the history of one of those names, I'm afraid. So yeah, we fundamentally don't know what the name Tanya means, I'm afraid, team.
I'm sorry, Wilson!
Actually, some people like to claim that Tatius, whatever you say that male name, it means king or ruler or noble because there's famous historical kings with that name, but that's more a theory than anything. But despite the fact we don't actually know what the name Tanya means, that hasn't stopped some sources from claiming they know what it means. There's a really popular baby name website called The Bump, and on their webpage for the name Tanya, they've actually given it a meaning. On their website, they say that the name Tanya means, you ready for it? This is amazing. Fairy Queen. How awesome and cute and adorable is that? A name that means Fairy Queen. Like, fairies are pretty cute little things, so being Queen of Fairies must mean you're pretty cool and magical and powerful, I suppose. Like, wow, what a wonderful meaning. And when I first sort of searched Tanya name meaning on Google, that's how I begin all these videos, that popped straight up and I was like, that's incredible. That's an amazing meaning for a name. Though of course there's a slight issue with all of this. The Bump is the only website claiming that Tanya means Fairy Queen. And oh, that rhymed, that's fun. Tanya means Fairy Queen, so that rhymed. Let's carry on. But no other websites are claiming this, and The Bump don't explain, they don't show their workings, they don't say how the name Tanya means Fairy Queen, so that's a bit strange. And like I said, no other websites or sources are saying this about the name Tanya, which is a little strange. The Bump, however, does say that Tanya is still the diminutive of Tatiana, but beyond that, once again, no evidence, and we know that Tatiana doesn't mean Fairy Queen either, so why are they saying this? Why are you saying this, Bump? Where'd you get your information from? Why are you lying to us? Well, what I theorise and what I've come to the conclusion with myself is that I think someone got their wires a bit mixed at the Bump HQ. They got the name Tatiana mixed up with the name Titania. Now, Titania as a name doesn't actually mean Fairy Queen either. However, there is a very famous fairy queen who actually bears this name, that being Titania from William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, who is the fairy queen, the queen of the fairies. And because of this, that name has become heavily related with fairy queens. There's many other queen fairies and fairy queens in fiction who have been called Titania because of this one Will invented. Invented? Yeah, I guess he invented. It seems weird to call them invented. They feel like mythological characters. That's a huge tangent. Let's carry on. Why Shakespeare called this character Titania, we don't know for sure, but I found a really fun essay about the meaning of names in A Midsummer Night's Dream online. And they went with the hypothesis that he used this name of Titania because it comes from the Greek Titans. You know, the Titans, they're the fun, cool elemental ones in Hercules.
Guys, Olympus would be that way.
Go watch Hercules, great film, probably quite problematic now because most old Disney stuff is. But it comes from Titan, Titania, big powerful queen fairy, Titans are powerful, probably why he used that name for her. That's all well and good, but despite how similar Titania and Tatiana sound phonetically and look phonetically, they are not the same name and they definitely do not come from the same origins. I know that, and of course you guys watching know that, but clearly someone at The Bump didn't. Someone over at the Bump HQ must have got Titania mixed up with Tatiana and then thought Tatiana meant Fairy Queen too, because that's what Titania has become known to mean, though, like I said, Titania, even Titania doesn't actually mean that, but clearly a mix-up's going on here. Then, as they knew that Tanya was a shortening of Tatiana, and they thought Tatiana meant Fairy Queen, despite it actually belongs to Titania, a similar sounding but unrelated name, they went, oh yeah, Tanya just means Fairy Queen too, and plucked that on their website. Plucked that on their website? That means get rid of it. Stamped onto their website. I'm getting my verbs mixed up. I'm not verb explain, I'm name explain. Leave me be. Basically, someone at the Bump didn't do their job right, and I made a whole video about it. That'd be awful. I'm really sorry whoever did this.
I'm sorry, Wilson!
I do things wrong all the time, and I'd be really upset if someone just made a video highlighting how awful I am, which I'm actually constantly scared will happen one day. What am I saying here? So yeah, sorry if you're watching this from the Bump and you made that last, but I'm going to save you with this next last few minutes of this video. Because in all honesty, we don't, like I said, know what the name Tanya actually means. And Fairy Queen is a pretty cool name meaning, so why don't we just all agree that the name Tanya means Fairy Queen, because it's awesome, it hasn't got a meaning anyway. Let's give it one. Who's gonna say no? I am declaring it, okay everyone. I am decreeing the name Tanya means Fairy Queen. If I say it, you have to agree with it. Anyway, perhaps this doesn't matter all too much, as Tanya is a pretty popular name these days. I think it got into popularity in like the 30s in English speaking world anyway. I think in this day and age, Tanya is more associated with like an older person. I think it kind of might be the same sort of Karen, Sharon, Janet sort of school of names. And there's nothing wrong with that. They'll probably be in trend in a few years' time anyway. But right now, Tanya's nowhere to be seen, I'm afraid. Famous Tanyas include Tanya Burr, who's a vlogger, YouTube influencer type person. I think she's doing acting now as well, which is cool. And there's also one, Tanya Hunk. She's a swimmer, I believe. I don't know too much about her, but she has such a great name. And someone else I wanted to mention is an actual Tatiana, and that being Tatiana Maslany. And she's actually going to be She-Hulk in the upcoming She-Hulk series. That's really exciting. It's cool to see that more traditional form of the name Tanya alive and kicking as well. Maybe she'll help popularize the name as well, because it's a really fun name, Tatiana. I think I could see that becoming more popular than just Tanya itself. But yeah, there's an actual famous Tatiana doing her thing. Good for you. You look like you're going to be really good in She-Hulk. Haven't seen it yet. I'm a massive Marvel nerd, so kind of excited. But anyway, that's just about everything you need to know about the name Tanya. But what are your thoughts on this name? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you know anyone with the name Tanya? Are you called Tanya yourself? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, I just want to share some of the thoughts of you guys on last week's name of Ariana. Randy Van Halen said, another variation of this name is Ariane or Ariane. I checked how to pronounce that. Got two pronunciations. Let me know which one's right, which one's wrong down in the comments below. In the Netherlands, we have a princess called Ariane. She's the third and youngest daughter of King Wilhelm Alexander and Queen Maxima, and she's about 15 years old right now. That's cool. A very famous Ariana or Ari Rain. Ari Rain. That name, it's not working for me, I'm afraid. Just not coming out right. Very strange. A name said, when I think of the most religious name, I immediately think of Abraham because of the Abrahamic religions, Islam, Christianity and Judaism. Very valid. Yeah, Abraham is a deeply religious name. It's spouted three of the world's most popular religions. But of course it's Ariana, as we established, I'm afraid. Yeah. No, Abraham, very good suggestion of most holy name, but not quite it. I don't know what Abraham actually means. Maybe we should do it next time, who knows. And Big Bopper said, as a balding man, I find your flagrant display of full follicles quite disheartening. You know what? Like, everything's going downhill right now. Like, YouTube's going pure, but like the world's going pure. Everything's just going pure at the moment. But I'll always have this. So like, I could be homeless on the streets, but as long as I've got this bad boy, I should be good to go. No one's taking this from me. Hopefully not anyway. Who knows? Go suggest some names down in the comments below, and I'll pick 3 of those to be put into a poll exclusively for my patrons to vote on. And then the winning name from that poll will be covered in the next Fun with First Names video. So once again guys, if you enjoy the channel, want to help support it, and have a say in what names get explained, please do consider becoming a patron. It helps the channel immensely. I know I just jokingly said there like YouTube's going downhill, but that's not much of a joke. This isn't what it used to be, even like from last year or whatnot. So if you can donate on Patreon, that would help immensely right now. But like I said, if you can't afford to, don't go spend your money. More importantly, go pay for your food bills and your rent and whatnot. But then if you do have a spare dollar by the end of the month, I think, I want to do something good with this, donate to charity. But then once you do that and you have another spare dollar, think, I'm going to support this really good YouTube on Patreon. And then once you have another dollar, think, I could probably give it to Patrick if you want to. Patreon.com/nameexplain. Link down below. It would help out immensely. Thank you. But anyway, that's more than enough for myself. Don't forget to go follow me on Instagram where I'm NameExplainYT, and don't forget to go join the Facebook group Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay guys, take care. On their weapon move a second. Tanya is the diminutive of... I struggle with that one so much. My hair's going mad, amber, not good. And Titania, that's better. Let's go Titania. Yeah, I'm gonna just film this whole bit again. Anyway, oh my hair's gone strange. But anything, I find your flagrant display of... This is a lot of words. Oof, that's another one done.